Since my last video about the top 5 psychological series has been well received and I've been getting questions about what other series I can recommend, I figured I'd make a part 2, showcasing 5 more series. Now these series are not as well founded in psychology as the other 5, but they are close, and some exploring some different areas which are also highly interesting. The first on this list is Sherlock. Closest to the suggestion I made in the other list as well, Sherlock is a series about, obviously, Sherlock Holmes, a detective who identifies himself as a highly functioning sociopath. A man who has problems in the social department but makes up for it with sheer power of observation and analytical ability. The character of House from House MD was based on the character of Sherlock Holmes, a character written by Arthur Conan Doyle.
Taking your own life. Interesting expression. Taking it from who? But once it's over, it's not you who'll miss it. Your own death is something that happens to everybody else. Your life is not your own. Keep your hands off it.
Second on this list is Dexter, a series which draws certain resemblance to Hannibal, exploring the mind of someone suffering from psychopathy, antisocial disorder, in everyday life, and looking into their way of thinking. Now, although it doesn't explore the mind as much as Hannibal does, this series still has many fans and deservingly so.
Is it spontaneous combustion? Divine intervention? If you believe that God makes miracles, you have to wonder if Satan has a few up his sleeve. But when you don't believe in anything, who do you thank at a time like this?
Third on this list is Black Mirror, a different kind of series entirely, and one I can't put a general description of as each episode is different. The overlapping similarities between the episodes, however, is one that explores the cost and consequence of techno-paranoia. How would one react if everything was recorded? If all their actions are just as if it's a social media? What are the effects of virtual reality on the mind if taken too far? This series explores many philosophical and psychological questions like these.
I see there's one standby seat on another plane leaving tonight. That's reserved for members of our Prime Flight program. You gotta be a 4.2 or over to qualify.
Oh, I'm a 4.2.
I'm afraid you're actually a 4.183.
Fourth on this list is In Treatment. Now, In Treatment is a series I feel fully embodies the concept of a psychological series, since it's about a psychologist who confronts uneasy truths about his own life while conducting therapy sessions with his patients. It explores the idea of therapy from both the position of the client as well as the psychologist.
You're angry at yourself for crumbling under this pressure, but I'm really amazed that you've held everything together for as long as you did.
Thanks a lot.
The Walter you know has been on the front line since his brother died. On call, taking care of everything, everybody, sleeping with one eye open. But without a mountain of responsibility, that Walter is completely lost. He doesn't know how not to be in charge. He's forgotten how to play. He can't just sit and be. Maybe that's why you're climbing the walls at the hospital.
Well, then get me out of there!
And last on this list is Mr. Robot. Many of you are probably familiar with this series, at least by some extent. Mr. Robot is a show about an antisocial computer programmer who works in cybersecurity, but also plays the opposite side of cybersecurity, namely hacking. The belief that the world needs change, and he wants to play a role in seeing that happen. This series is about a guy who, with therapy sessions, hallucinations and relationship difficulties, tries to change the world.
Hacking her was simple. Her password, Dylan2791. Favorite artist in the year in which she was born backwards. Though she's a psychologist, she's really bad at reading people, but I'm good at reading people. My secret, I look for the worst in them. I know she went through a divorce 4 years ago. I know she was devastated by it and has been dating losers on eHarmony ever since.
Now, this was a small list about 5 additional psychological series you can watch if you are truly interested in the topic. Thank you all for watching, till next time, and see ya!